You can pull up anything you want.
Pull up anything you want. Except senior fact checker, Logan Barrier.
Hey. All right, everybody. This is WIUPodcast episode 7. I actually remembered this time because we skipped a week last week because this is kind of bi-weekly now or something. Also, last week it came to Wednesday and I realized, oh, whoops, it's Wednesday. And then we didn't do one.
Is bi-weekly one of those phrases that could either mean every second week or twice a week?
So let me rephrase.
I think
this podcast is now every other week now. It is bi-monthly, which is what I meant to say. And I said bi-weekly. Bi-monthly, twice a month.
No, when I think of
bi-monthly is like
twice a month.
No, when I think bi-weekly, I think every 2 weeks. Like biannual.
No,
every 2
bi-weekly.
years.
But like if you think about it grammatically.
No, yeah, bi-weekly is twice a week. So this is bi-monthly.
We don't talk about grammar on this show.
It's apparently
we should.
It's April Fool's. Anything goes.
Hey,
true.
Welcome to the Indiana English Students Podcast.
Yes.
Sponsored by IUP TV.
We're all about grammar.
All about the grammar.
I am DJ Dynamite, aka Walker. I'm Walker Ford, aka DJ Dynamite. Forgot what my birth name was.
Like it made a difference.
Progression 6 to 8 on Fridays. With us here is
Mike Gosnell, sports director at 90.1 WIUP FM and outgoing senior. I'll be graduating May 9th.
Yay.
Don't talk about it
Why?
because it makes me sad.
It'll still happen.
No, it'll still
I know.
If we talk about it.
If I put it off, it'll be worse when it gets there, and it'll just like hit me like I've been putting this off and now it happened and now there's nothing I can do about it.
Who
so
are
sad.
you? Who are you in
Steve
the corner?
Farrell, a.k.a. I have like 7 different DJ names. Salty Steve of the 7 C's, Blowy and the Who Fish. Okay, well, two's not that much.
Thomas
but
the
whatever.
Deck Engine.
Yes.
That's still more than
no.
most of us have.
True. And I do the median mix on Thursdays from 2 to 4.
Oh.
Logan Barrier, DJ TK, BPM Tuesday 8 to 10.
Also, our token
Sweet.
manly man at the station.
Okay. For those of you who
Apparently.
can't see,
Yeah, which is everyone.
Walker just 4 people.
It's not really like a caress. Was that what you were about to
Walker's
say?
caressing Logan's right
I'm like
shoulder.
scratching his shoulder, like on all edges around it.
And Logan is somewhat okay
It's like
with
a
this.
strange grasp.
Logan's very tolerant. He's like a parent whenever they get the puppy, and
Well,
instead of getting mad at it, they're like,
Indiana's not really tolerant with that new law that they passed.
Oh, yeah, very true.
There's a
Is that how we're going to start it?
yeah, that's how we're gonna start it. What's the lie? I don't know about this.
Getting political.
Hey.
The state of Indiana passed a Religious Freedom Act, and I do not know the exact wording of the legislation, but it's like companies can choose to hire you based upon your religious views, and this is getting some flack from some people because with this law imposed, people could theoretically discriminate against gay people, and a lot of people are taking offense to it.
So wait. They actually passed the law
They passed the law. The
Yeah.
governor passed the law.
that says you can discriminate against people.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I haven't read the full legislation, but like employers can.
That's
factor-
what it allows. You
Yeah.
can be fired from jobs for things not pertaining to like your job performance,
and
to like personal
Yeah.
things about you.
yeah.
But that's like illegal in every other part of the country.
Yes.
Except for
maybe, like-
Indiana, the
Except
state
for
of
maybe-
Indiana, not IUP Indiana,
Oh yeah.
state of Indiana.
I
Yeah.
assume this is something I would expect from like Mississippi or something, or
Hey,
like
man.
or like South Dakota, because nobody really checks up on South Dakota.
But
That's true.
I
but,
know a lot of businesses are pulling out. I read.
Yeah.
She
I think
said.
it was Angie's List was like going to build $140 million headquarters in Indiana, and they backed out of that
Yeah.
project.
And bands are starting to cancel all their tour dates in
Indie
Indiana.
folk rock heroes.
Wilco? Yeah, Wilco, they were quick about it too. They were just like, hey, we are not going to play here. We are going to cancel our Indiana show because of this law.
Canceled
that's
a
what
May
that
7
was. Yeah.
concert in Indianapolis following the controversial passage of the Indiana Religious Freedom Restoration
Yeah.
Act.
And I can't remember other artists that have done it, but I'm pretty sure that there have been a few other artists that have been following Wilco in this act of canceling their Indiana shows. And
But the real question is, did they release Jack White's guacamole recipe?
did they release?
They might have.
Well, it's an exclusive part of Tidal, and we can talk about that
Yeah.
coming up.
The secret ingredient that we didn't see was it has to be all assembled by a gay chef.
Yes.
So
Yes.
It was
Jack White's missing out on
anyway,
Indiana.
So Dom DeLuise.
let's not let's not go on too many tangents here.
Too many cooks.
Trying to keep on this. I don't know how I feel about Wilco's choice. I think it's really cool that they're, upfront about their political views. They're not afraid to express themselves. But I don't think it's really fair for fans of them who live in Indiana, because it's not like every single Indiana citizen fully is all
it
for
sucks
this
for
law.
everyone who
Yeah.
is opposed
Think
to
about
this.
like a huge Wilco fan who maybe hasn't ever seen them, and Wilco's their favorite band, and all because of some political action that they had no control over. Now they just can't see their favorite band, and it was their favorite band's choice. So I'm really just, I don't know. I kind of wish it
So you do
wouldn't-
know how you feel about it.
I guess I do.
Think of the children. Would someone please think of the children?
Think of the children. I
Those
mean,
poor children without their
Yeah.
Wilco.
I feel bad for the people who are Wilco fans in Indiana because they already have it bad enough because they live in Indiana. Now Wilco's not coming down there.
Just killed our Indiana fan base.
Wow.
Now
Yeah.
we only have one. We hardly have any fan base. That's not the point. We're building. Continue.
But they should have known because their first mistake was living in Indiana. Sorry, Indiana
I
people.
don't think they can help that.
Anyway,
I mean, they can. They could just move.
is there a poignancy to this, Walker?
So a
Wilco's-
mass exodus of Indiana people, and that would have a territory.
Yeah.
Well, there's just a territory of Indiana.
While I understand why there are bands and artists who kind of make these statements,
Yeah.
like I can think of a few different examples. This is just kind of against like government, but Jack White protesting and not playing his show because his secret guacamole recipe
Well, that's
was leaked.
insane. At least Wilco's
Well,
making a good decision, or
I
they're supporting a good cause.
I understand artists who take it upon themselves to be like, I don't approve of this, so I'm going to cancel this. They're allowed to. That's
Yeah.
their prerogative to do that. It's something they can do.
Yeah.
It really sucks
Like-
for the fans who just paid money and just wanted to see a show and have to deal with this essentially drama, but
I think they owe something to the fans though, and I wouldn't put it in the same category as Jack White canceling or threatening to ban Oklahoma, but
the
because
entire state of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma University.
He started the change.org
Yeah,
petition.
listen to the podcast, Mike. But
Yeah.
no, that was just pure self-indulged lunacy, and Wilco is doing this because they want to support a good social cause.
It's like when back in the 70s early 70s to mid 80s, bands wouldn't play in South Africa because of apartheid. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like what
Well-
bands?
Elton John didn't go. Queen was like one of the only ones that actually went to play during apartheid,
Man.
and people were all up in arms. They got really pissed off at Queen for doing that because apartheid is like segregation.
Oh, yeah.
But segregation was here.
It's
It
legalized
was
segregation.
Legalized segregation. South Africa has changed that.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Isn't that the
Nelson
thing that
Mandela.
like District 9 was kind of based off of?
Yeah.
In
Sort
a
of.
very like
Extreme way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a sense,
But yeah,
it
apartheid
was
South
legalized racism. Like white and black people
Yeah.
could not interact socially at all.
Yeah. Also, you say that the bands didn't really want to go there because of that. Another reason they probably didn't want to go there is also because of that. And
Because of apartheid.
yeah, they probably just didn't want to go to South Africa, and they're like, we're not going for political reasons, not because
It's
we're
a
not going
terrifying
for, yeah.
country where the murder rate is extremely high.
Yeah.
I just don't really need to think of bands as political entities. I just need to think of I don't necessarily need a band to make a statement.
Yeah.
well,
Wilco can do what they want, but at the end of the day, I don't need to appreciate them for the decisions they make in regarding their treatment of
You just wanna
government
listen to damn
legislature.
music.
Yeah,
yeah.
just go do what you're paid to do and play a show.
but
Yeah.
they're role models. You're supposed to look up to them.
Yeah, I'm like that too. See, I was a huge Rage Against the Machine fan,
Wow.
and
Was
I still love them. I just listened to them a lot in high school.
Not since the accident.
Not since the accident, no. But like again, I'm not hugely into all of their political issues. Same with the Dead Kennedys. Joe Biafra, he was a great frontman, but
I
I don't know.
just want the music.
Yeah.
I want to
And-
go to a rage
yeah.
show and spend like an hour of Tom Morello
Yeah.
yelling at me and making me feel
Yeah.
bad.
I feel like Paul Ryan talking about it like this, but yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. I know.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Wilco doing this, maybe that is a step in the right direction. Maybe it'll help overturn this law. Who knows?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But one thing you
You
said,
can only
you said
hope.
you didn't want to put Jack White and Wilco in the same place for what they did, but
Not at all.
I'm gonna argue against that and say that I should, because here's the thing: they can afford to do that.
Who can?
They can. They probably can.
But who's
Jack
they?
White, Jack White, Wilco. They can afford to just like not go to that one because it's not gonna ruin their career. They're not gonna lose all their money by not going to one show. So they can afford to make a statement and be like, I'm not gonna go to this.
Jack White, maybe not Wilco.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about it in an economic sense. It was more like
Principle.
the reasoning and the principles behind it. Jack White.
Well, a pretty big reasoning probably for them not going is like, so if they absolutely needed that money, if like they were desperate to like that show to make rent for the next
they're
month,
not.
I
they probably
guess.
would have gone.
Yeah,
But
they're in some garage band that tours houses. Like, this is Wilco. I understand
Which
that.
is that's
but
what
it's
I'm
like
saying.
Jack White was being a prima donna, and Wilco cares about the civil rights
Yes,
of gay people.
But
and
it's the fact that they skipped the thing for whatever reason that they believe in. Jack White believed that he hated him for the guacamole thing, and they believe in not believing in whatever Indiana believes in, because that's what I believe, that they did not believe in what they believe.
All right, that's enough of that.
yeah, okay. Anyway,
Let's go over Eric Clapton.
Eric
70
Clapton
this
turned
week.
70. Whee!
Clap.
Eric Clapton's awesome.
10.
Eric Clapton is God.
It's pretty
you know?
old.
He's pretty old.
He outlived many
How
of
old
his
is he?
friends.
70.
Wow.
I mean, that's kind of true. Like, hell,
This
if
is
Jack
kinda
Bruce,
true.
rest in peace.
Wait, did we say 70?
Yeah.
He's 70.
How old is Betty White?
93.
90 something.
Oh,
I
never
don't,
mind.
I don't think they're friends.
Yeah, I mean, but they're both.
Is that what you
old.
were like really hoping for? Like, please let my dreams be true.
Yeah, it's my fan fiction.
Favorite Clapton
Please,
song?
please let my buddy cop fan fiction be grounded in reality.
She would have been like 20 years old when he was just born.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Favorite Clapton
There's a different
song, guys?
time.
Favorite Clapton song?
Tears in Heaven for me.
Ooh, I actually have never heard that song just because I know what it's
Oh
about.
my God.
And it's so. They just
You're
sounds
listening to it after
No.
I like
it's too
Wonderful
sad.
Tonight.
this. That's a high school dance type prom song.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I
still
don't
a
know,
great
it's
song.
like-
The cover of Layla's really good too.
It's like
the acoustic
campy,
cover.
but it's campy, but it's fun.
Cocaine.
Yeah. Cocaine. Yeah.
You're listening to Tears in Heaven after
no,
this.
I seriously don't want to though because
it's
it's
not
like
that
so
bad.
sad.
It's not that bad.
I'll listen to it
There's a
on
lot
that
of
time.
sad songs. Are you saying
Yeah,
that you
but this is
avoid
about
every
his
song
fu-
that's
This is
sad?
about his son like dying, and Clapton doesn't play it live anymore because it's
Yes, he
so
does.
sad. He does.
He's
That's
over
the
it.
thing.
He got
He
over
got
it.
over it. He got over
He
his
got
son's
over it.
death.
Alright.
Awesome.
For
My
his
favorite.
70th birthday.
No, he said it's not worth not playing anymore because it's just by him not playing it.
Yeah.
You're if you
I-
just roll
yeah.
with it and just play it. It's what the fans
Because
want.
it's like
I
in
got it.
memory of him. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, even in like a weird way. Like Dave Matthews has a weird way of like dedicating songs to his family. Like Grace Is Gone was like about his stepdad, but it's like this song about like breaking up and like being lonely because he's like getting drunk in a bar because this girl, they didn't want the same things. And The Stone is a song about
the Rolling Stones.
sung from the point of view. It's in honor of his sister who died. She got murdered, and it's from the point of view of the guy who murdered her sister. And that's how that song. I mean, it's just but he still plays it. And I'm sure like when he was writing it, even when he started playing it, then it was like, oh my god, I just wrote a song from the point of view of a guy who just murdered my sister.
Clapton, one of the best guitarists of all time.
Obviously. My favorite Clapton song, Oldie But a Goodie, Sunshine of Your Love.
Never heard that one.
What?
What?
You never heard Sunshine of Your Love?
Nope.
Yes,
What
you
do you
have.
mean? Yeah,
I
you have.
probably have.
It's
yeah.
getting near dawn. Dun, 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 dun. You've heard that
Yeah.
song.
Well, he's not
yeah.
heard
I just
that.
know what it was called.
When Let's Close the Time. Sorry, never mind.
Mine's
heard that
Tears
a
in Heaven,
lot
followed
last
closely
semester.
by his cover of
Last year.
Layla.
Yeah. Wait,
That's the be- that's the
he
be-
didn't cover Layla. He wrote that song.
Derek and the Dominoes did one, or was that the other way around?
That's him.
It's the other way
That's-
around.
Is
That's
it?
Eric Clapton.
Derek and the Dominoes covered Layla.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, but Derek and the Dominoes is Clapton.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
I
it's
never
him.
knew that. I always was
I didn't know
confused.
that either. I was with him.
Anyway, Layla, and then third is Cocaine.
Yeah. Sunshine of Your Love.
The song or
Yes, the song.
okay.
Song with the substance.
He's still working right now too.
Yeah, he's a workhorse. I can't believe that too. He did so much drugs.
Of course.
He claims that he can't remember the 70s.
That
Which is-
sounds plausible.
I don't remember
know.
the 70s
And
either though.
Well,
You wonder
neither
how
do
Keith
we.
Richards is still living.
Honestly, these people.
It's the cocaine.
Yeah, it's not really fair though, because these people indulge in all of these drugs and all this insane behavior for
And
years
yet
and
Freddie
years.
Mercury's dead.
And Freddie Mercury's dead. Yeah.
But Freddie Mercury had like, disease or something.
He had AIDS.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it was. Couldn't remember the
yeah.
name of it.
Yeah, but you can't take Keith Richards too because of him snorting his dead father's ashes.
Yeah, that's the thing he did. I forgot
Ozzy
about
Osbourne snorted black ants and chopped or ate a bat's head.
A lot of people have eaten
that.
bats' heads though.
He ate black. What you said? Black.
You can't
ant?
Snorted
like,
black ants,
justify
like
that.
ants.
Oh, fight.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm
I knew
sure
about
in
that.
some
I
other
thought-
part of the world where like bats are, there.
Fucking Motley Crue
That's Ozzy
injected
Osbourne.
whiskey into
Like-
their
yeah,
veins.
but he was just
Oh,
he was being worldly.
And yet
you know?
we can't have Freddie Mercury
yeah.
or Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix.
Well, they did drugs.
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Motley Crue just made
Wow.
me think Metallica. Did you hear Metallica's like financially in the red?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Really?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's
How?
Lars Ulrich.
It's all Napster's fault.
Oh
It
yeah.
is all Napster's fault.
Like they've just been hemorrhaging money.
What do you know? Did you?
I don't know. I just read a little article online, but like,
because they tour a lot.
yeah,
that seems weird. Unless
what are they doing with it? Who do they owe
Are they
money
very
to?
protective of their copyright? And
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Lars
like-
Ulrich is super anal about their music, and he was the one. Is that funny, Walker?
No, I'm just laughing at
Is-
Lars Ulrich though.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Lars Ulrich.
He just seems like a joke of a man.
He
And- and
honestly
it-
does.
He's
Yeah.
a poor joke of a man now too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He back when Napster was a big deal, he spearheaded this whole lawsuit against them because he was like, they're taking
they're evil.
our money away, and it's like they are, but you are in Metallica, you can survive.
I like to imagine that Lars Ulrich is like an extremely, even more simple than you think, than that we know, that he's an extremely simple man, and just by absolute chance he's gotten this far in life.
I don't doubt that he's a good drummer, and when he was a kid, he was this prodigy tennis player. Fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah, he.
So he has that to fall back on.
I guess.
Not anymore though.
I guess so. Yeah, Metallica. Good old Metallica. We
Didn't,
went from Eric Clapton to Metallica.
I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure if it's that each of the individual members is in the red, or that just like Metallica as an entity. Like they
Yeah.
might individually all be rich,
Yeah, probably.
You don't know that
I
though.
mean, that's
but like the
Metallica. How do you
Metallica
lose
project.
money?
Yeah,
So how does the
Yeah.
project run out of money? How is that a thing?
I
Like
don't
they
know.
can't
It was
tour.
a really short
they
article.
can't like their management. Well,
They
Yeah,
can't
but if they're all
record.
individually rich, couldn't they, if they want to keep doing
well,
it?
they could make an independent label, but
maybe they don't
want
want
to. Do
to.
that. I don't know.
Well, then that's a whole different thing. Metallica wants to break up, and they're just kind of
Favorite
like,
Metallica song?
I'm not a huge Metallica fan,
Enter
but yeah,
Seek and
honestly,
Destroy.
if I had to pick one,
That
what was that, Walker?
was the Enter Sandman song.
I
That's
like
what they sound
Seek
like.
and
They go like,
just for the
"Ah."
opening riff.
Okay. Wait, are you like a big Metallica fan?
Not really. That's just.
Oh.
There's only a few songs I know. My buddy is a huge Metallica fan.
Do you loathe Saint Anger like everyone else? Yeah. What's so? I've never heard it. Why do people hate it so much?
It's just awful in every
Really?
sense of the word.
But like, Can you give an example?
The song itself.
I
It's
mean
just-
the album, because it's such a universally hated album.
I can't really pick out one thing though. It's just awful.
It's just universally bad.
What
it's
if
just
that's
like,
what put him
the
in the
Spaghetti
red?
Affair from Guns N' Roses?
Oh, the Spaghetti Incident.
The Spaghetti Incident.
Lasagna.
That was horrible.
Really? I'm not a huge Guns N' Roses fan either. Axl
They're
Rose
they're
is
the band
terrible.
that their first album was all hits, and then they just
yeah.
didn't, like Boston.
Yeah.
Their first album was all hits, and they did nothing afterwards.
Yeah. Axl Rose.
It's kind of
is
hard to
such-
top that.
Axl Rose is like my Lars Ulrich to you, Walker.
Super
He's a
simple.
joke of a man. He Guns N' Roses went on tour, and they had the opening.
But the man can sing.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, a lot of people
I
can
mean,
sing.
they can't now. But anyway,
They
he-
can't. Now.
Once upon a time.
He went on tour like 10 years ago, and their opening act was this band called the Eagles of Death Metal. And one night, and I think they were playing in Cincinnati or something, Axl Rose called them the Pigeons of Shit Metal. And it's like, maybe don't call your supporting act that, because they are trying to
Make
help
it.
you, and they kind of liked you, and now they don't, and you're an idiot, and I hate you, Axl Rose. I hate you.
Well, the Pigeons
What
of
about
Shit Metal
Slash?
hate him too.
Yeah, and it's funny because the lead singer of the Eagles of Death Metal got a pigeon shitting tattooed on his arm.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, so at least he had a good sense of humor about
he
it.
did. I thought that
when
was
he
awesome.
when he's not at home crying and is throwing himself
What do
to
you think
sleep.
of Slash?
I don't have an opinion.
He was
on
in
Slash,
SpongeBob.
honestly. He was?
He was in a SpongeBob movie. Wait, I think he's Slash. Okay, just to be clear, make sure I'm not wrong. Slash is the weird looking dude with the curly hair and like the big hat and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in this.
Yeah.
The second one?
Yeah.
When?
Or maybe it was the commercial. He was in a commercial. I remember he was like a street performer. He was like he does this thing.
Could it have been a Slash impersonator?
No, because on the commercial for the trailer for SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water, it said also it's featuring Antonio Banderas and Slash, and then it showed Slash.
That's false advertising because Slash was not in that movie.
Here's our transition. Walker just provided it to us. SpongeBob lives under the ocean.
What else
Talk
is
about
under the ocean?
Tidal.
Tidal waves.
Yeah, but Tidal's kind of like on top of the ocean.
Yeah.
So you should have just been
Should
in
we
the ocean.
transition
But
to a
tidal
topic?
waves are formed under the ocean.
No, they're not.
We
They could be
drifted
energy
from
underneath
Eric
the water.
Clapton to Metallica.
Isn't that like a?
That's how it
earthquake
works.
thing? So, but that's not like under the water. is
Any
it?
hoozle.
Have
People,
you
let's bring
ever
back
been
in.
upset with the fidelity of your streaming music?
No.
You don't
can
need to
make
be
a
anymore.
Great title.
Okay.
spokesperson. All right. So the next topic, if you haven't guessed already, is about the new music streaming service entitled Tidal. Now, for those of you who don't know, a while back, Jay-Z bought this other music streaming service. It was kind of going out of business.
Groove Shark?
$56 million
$56 million he bought
for
it.
Aspiro.
And he revamped it into this new music streaming service called Tidal. And it is not just Jay-Z that owns this. It is also Daft Punk, Jack White, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, the guy from Coldplay,
Beyonce,
Kanye, a bunch of people. And,
Rihanna.
I said Rihanna.
Oh, you already said
Yeah.
Rihanna?
Yeah. And so this is a music streaming service like, Spotify or Pandora or whatever, but they are advertising it as
the first music streaming service that combines the best high-fidelity sound quality, high-definition music videos, and expertly curated editorial.
Yes. They boast that their content is of high fidelity. And not only that, they are also boasting that they give exclusive content, one example being the White Stripes' first ever television performance. And they also boast that it is also capable offline. And people were making a big deal about this when it came out, and they had this massive press conference with all of these musicians. Deadmau5 is another one who
Oh, great.
was a shareholder or whatever. And I want to ask you, fair people, what do you think you're gonna try Tidal?
Nope.
No.
No.
I have Spotify.
Why? You have Spotify.
Yeah.
Very good.
I've never really considered myself upset with the fidelity of the sound that I listen to.
Yeah.
And when I'm reading about it here, and there are two tiers, you can pay $9.99 a month for standard quality or $20 a month for the high fidelity.
Yeah. I mean,
$20 a month for listening to songs
$20
over
a
the internet
month?
that sound better, plus HD videos and expertly curated editorials.
You can
at
get
$20 a month.
Okay, you can get
but there's
HD
editorials.
videos on YouTube. You can get music videos on YouTube.
With like 10-second ads, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you have ad block, you don't even have the ads.
Hey, but don't use ad block on YouTube, guys. Support the creators. Unless you're watching someone who's like ripping off something else, but support the creators, all right?
Sure. But yeah, I don't know. When I
Ad
heard
block for life.
yeah. Okay, sure.
We're gonna fight.
But yeah,
after this.
when I heard the high fidelity aspect of it, I thought it was cool for a second, and then I was like, wait a second, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because unless it's like terrible YouTube fuzzy quality, I don't really care about the high fidelity of my digital music. If it was an album, like a record or a CD, I would. But I mean,
That's
unless
what Spotify's for, and that's what Pandora does. And
yeah, like unless you're a total audiophile, I don't really see the appeal of this.
Like, it was at CES or whatever that.
Consumer Electronics Expo.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
They unveiled like one of the new reintroduced the Walkman sort of thing, and it was like, so it was like this ridiculous like iPod Touch looking thing, and the reason,
so funny. And
that's all fine and dandy and stuff, and it's like, all right, cool, it's a Walkman for the modern age, and then they're like, so it's like $300, and then their reasoning for that was that it was capable of, as opposed to iPods and MP3
it also
players,
makes an awesome paperweight.
Yeah, it makes an awesome paperweight in addition to having high fidelity music. So there's like lossless audio or something. So which is great, no, but not for $300.
That reminds me of those recent MySpace commercials where they try to be so hip and cool. Have you seen these? Like
MySpace is still a thing.
I mean,
it's like a music.
I remember
streaming
like
site
a year
now.
or two ago, they try to like re-release these commercials where it's like MySpace, please.
Is it MySpace? MySpace was bought out by Justin Timberlake.
I just shrugged.
All
I
right,
don't
well, okay, so I'm pretty sure it was bought by Justin Timberlake. If you want to look that up, you could like confirm it. And it was kind of turned into a shitty version of Bandcamp
know.
with
Logan
a
Berry
lot
or-
less
or
friendly,
fact
Fact checker. Yeah.
a lot less friendly user interface, whatever the word is for that.
GUI.
A lot worse GUI.
Bringing
It's
it back
pretty
to the
crappy.
title though.
It is owned by Timberlake.
I wouldn't
Bam.
try Tidal.
Yeah.
I'm perfect. I don't stream music like you guys do,
Yeah.
but I prefer Pandora, and Pandora does just fine by
You
me.
prefer Pandora?
Pandora
like
kind of
Pandora.
sucks, dude.
I kind of like
Just use Spotify.
I mean, I use iTunes honestly because I like collecting the albums, but I do use Spotify too for albums that I can't really get.
I think
But-
if I consider myself an audiophile and wanted to listen to high fidelity music, this wouldn't be the way I want to go around it.
You'd
'Cause
buy
they're gonna have
vinyl.
they're gonna have a super limited amount of music, which is gonna be Jay-Z's songs, Kanye's songs, Nicki Minaj's songs.
I don't think they'll be. I don't.
Daft. I know, but that's like
Yeah.
the general beginning of how this is all gonna start. And $20 a month, so I can listen to a crystal clear definition of Kanye West's Graduation album.
Nah.
Like there's some good ideas in what they're saying. Like Tidal's like, all right, so this is what it could be, and it's like that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, it is really cool.
But we want it to be that right now. No. That's not gonna work. That's not
Yeah.
gonna work. No, it's
Yeah.
right now. No. You don't know.
If they didn't price it so high, I think it'd be cool. Like the
$20 a
whole
month.
Yeah, high fidelity. If they were like, hey, this is like Spotify. If they admitted that and then was like, oh, plus high fidelity, it'd be like Spotify, but better. Okay,
Spotify
Tidal's-
has like the in the
Tidal's
premium
cool.
version, which is like, I don't know how much a year, but it's not. It's,
I think it's
a lot
20 a
less
year.
than $20 a month.
Yeah,
A lot less
20
than $20.
a year
Yeah,
versus Tidal, 20 a month.
but it has the capability to do high quality streaming. I usually just don't because
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't
like
know.
it sounds fine.
But another aspect of Tidal that I like is the editorial part because it would merge like a music publication and a streaming website together. But if Tidal's doing that, Tidal's owned by a lot of musicians. A lot of musicians are the shareholders. I'm curious as to whether or not they will do reviews of albums, and if they do that,
They'll all
if they
review
will be
each other's.
super biased to
Yeah.
Jay-Z or Jack
And
White.
like, if they gave like an album like a bad review, like Tidal gave this album like a really bad review, that
Hear
artist
it in high fidelity.
would be like
Hear
inclined
shittiness.
to not give them the rights to stream their music. So that's just like it's.
That's true. I mean, they didn't explicitly say they just review stuff. I mean, they'll
We're
probably
just
do
assuming.
op-ed.
We're just
Yeah.
assuming the
And
worst.
you know what happens
Assuming
when
the
you
worst.
assume
I think there are just too many streaming services right now. Between this getting
the market
released,
is saturated.
Apple's working on another streaming service beside iTunes Radio
Seriously?
with Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails.
Oh,
He's like helping them design
yeah.
a new
What's it
stream
called?
service.
What is that?
But didn't Trent Reznor already make a streaming service?
Right?
I thought
So-
that's what that was.
I know. Yeah, he made one like a year ago.
So they're gonna have this new service in addition to iTunes Radio. There's gonna be Tidal, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon has their streaming service.
You can use YouTube as a streaming service too.
Neil Young has a high fidelity digital streaming store called Pano.
Wait. Someone has also an streaming service that I think they were saying was going to be directly correlated with the Walkman. You know, the $300 Walkman.
The $300 Walkman.
Yeah.
Omega
Eric Clapton.
7000.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called.
Eric
It's just like
Clapton.
the
It's Eric
Walkman.
Clapton, everyone.
For 70th.
Yeah.
It would cost you $70,000.
Going back to my roots.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's yeah, there is a saturated market for streaming services, but I think not that is the problem that there's so many. It's just that there's enough good ones that there doesn't need to be more. Like if there was a whole bunch of shitty ones, I'd be more inclined to like play around and try different ones, but
Yeah.
Spotify is out already and it's fantastic. It does everything I need to. It works perfectly fine.
But Spotify has its flaws though, because it
does, but
it underpays the artists a lot.
It
Like, they could
does,
pay them more.
but it's a lot better than a lot of the
I
other
have a
streaming
question
services.
though. I primarily listen to music via iTunes. Like I upload CDs to iTunes. Do all of you? Would you say exclusively use streaming, or like Spotify and Pandora, or do you use iTunes, or how do you listen to music?
Mine's a weird combination. Because I use
Elaborate.
I use SoundCloud, which is slightly streaming,
Oh, SoundCloud. Yeah.
but
you-
it's more of a artist download platform service, to which I then download songs and put them in iTunes.
Okay.
So I wouldn't
I-
necessarily consider it primarily streaming source.
Okay.
My thing is that whenever there's an album from an artist that I want, like I always go out and buy the CD, and occasionally if I feel like spending the money, I'll buy like the vinyl thing so I can have like the super cool thing. And usually I just download this onto my computer if I really want to. But I have like all the stuff that I have on CD, I have on my Spotify playlist, and I just put certain songs on there, and I just have a massive like 300 song playlist on Spotify that I just play whenever I listen to music.
The best of Walker.
How frequently does it happen when an artist comes out with an album and you go and buy the CD? Like you feel it earns it. How frequently? How many times a year would you say that happens?
Just whenever an artist that I like comes out, I like Spoon was coming out with an album. I heard like a couple of the singles, but I'm just like, there's not even a question. I'm just gonna go out and buy it, and I did. I bought like sometimes I listen to the radio a lot too. Only WIUP FM, but no.
Exclusively WIP-FM.
So,
Very
and like
cool.
if there's a song on there, I'm like, that sounds like a really cool album. So I like found out the Heartless Bastards that way. I went out and bought Marathon or whatever the hell that was called. I think it was Arrow. And like when their next album comes out, I'm probably gonna go out and buy that. I bought Alabama Shakes. I just go out and buy out. If I like an album, I go out and buy it, or I just randomly go to like dollar CD stores and just buy dollar CDs. And then from there, it's like, oh, I like this band. I'm glad I spent $1 on this really crappy CD because it's all scratched up and there's no case for it anymore.
Nice.
But whenever I listen to it, I just put it on my Spotify playlist. Or if I'm in the car, which is pretty much the primary reason I like CDs, because I just put them in the car. And it's
I
like,
use an auxiliary cable. Hook it up to my phone.
nah, cars is a primarily only CD place, except for on spring break when all my CDs are here, and all I have is my phone.
What about you, Mike? You said primarily Pandora.
Primarily Pandora, and I use YouTube as well.
Okay. What do you like about Pandora?
Not the ads, obviously.
Not the
But
ads, not the
I don't know. I've been
ads.
using it for a while. I haven't really transitioned to Spotify yet.
Purist.
I'm
Purist
thinking
at heart.
to.
YouTube's a good music service. It's got
I rarely use.
it's got every song that you need to look for.
I rip audio off of YouTube and upload it to my iTunes. So I guess in some sense I use YouTube.
I've
No,
done
you
that
don't.
for.
You don't do that.
Everything you know is a lie.
No one does that.
I think it's interesting what Walker said because I do that too. When a band I really, really like releases an album, I go out and buy it. Certain bands earn my money, and that's a weird mentality to have because, when you think about it, 20 years ago, not even 20 years ago, you just had to buy music. Now we have this weird option where it's like, all right, let's see if they pass the test. Let's see if they earn my money.
Nick's here.
Nick Eiginger's here right now, people.
Let's bring him in for a second.
Should we?
I have
Open him up real quick. We're gonna ask him a question.
one of my favorite video games. This game called Hotline Miami. Its sequel, Hotline Miami 2, just
Electric
came out
Boogaloo?
last month. Not even last month, like this month. I guess still considering it March. I could have bought the game when it came out for $20. Instead, I went and ordered the collector's edition for $60, which comes with a 3 vinyl set of the game soundtrack.
Okay.
The soundtrack's fucking phenomenal.
Was it good?
Okay.
Oh,
But-
you just answered that.
It's worth waiting an extra month until that arrives and I can actually play the game with it.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Nick.
So
Nick
ask
Eiginger's here.
Nick.
It's just in. Willie Nelson is making his own weed line, everybody.
Whoa, that's not really what we're going with.
Hey.
We have a question to ask you, Nick. Take the mic from there. If
Or you could have
if
just given
may.
yours.
Rend the mic.
Or I could, whatever.
Rend it a twin.
And what is the question?
So we are. One of the topics we were talking about was Tidal, the new music streaming service that's fronted by Jay-Z and all those artists. And how do you listen to music? Do you stream it? Do you use iTunes? Do you CDs? How do you listen to music on a regular basis? And why?
It depends. Usually I stream my music. On occasion, well, I'd say it's 50-50 between, 50, 20, 30 maybe. Half the time I
So
stream music.
calculated.
I stream a lot of music.
Where do you stream from?
Spotify, straight up. Sometimes Pandora. If I'm playing video games, I got my Pandora on instead of Spotify. I don't know why. The 20% was iTunes. I listen to iTunes for if I have a set playlist or my mashups because I have a lot of mashups. The other 30% is listening to vinyl. I don't really listen to CDs, tapes, or 8-tracks, but there's some songs that are really just meant to be played on vinyl.
Such as?
Nana album, a lot of live
Oh, yeah.
records. Pink Floyd. You can't listen to Pink Floyd digitally.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
I mean, technically you can.
no.
I mean,
You literally cannot.
You're not a human.
the physical capability is there.
Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl's awesome.
Yeah.
I have it,
um
but it's really bad.
I have The Wall on vinyl.
Would you
It's-
pay Jay-Z $20 a month if you could listen to the streaming high fidelity version of Pink Floyd online?
Because that's the main selling point of Tidal. If you
$20 a
didn't know.
month for high
They-
fidelity.
just Pink Floyd?
No, not Pink
No,
Floyd, the high quality.
all of the music that they stream is high fidelity.
Is
That's their
it
big selling point.
is it a limited streaming service? Like, is it just through Jay-Z's
Title.
It's
Yeah.
through their high fidelity music library, which would be.
Well, I'm saying,
whoever's
like,
given
is
them
it
the
just
rights.
his company, or is it whoever sells them? Like,
Well,
are they
I
paying
think
out
it could be-
royalties, or?
I think it could be any band, but
Anyone who gives them the right to stream it. There was that whole
Yeah.
list of people. So like Jack White was on there.
Yeah.
Daft Punk
Daft
was
Punk.
on there.
I also
Beyonce.
think that the only people who are going to buy that product are fans of Jay-Z who want to support him, because I mean Spotify is pretty high quality. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's-
and
it
there's even an
sounds perfectly
option.
fine.
Like, do you because you have premium, right?
yeah,
Do you turn on the option for high quality streaming?
no,
'Cause I
because
don't
I have really
either.
bad internet. So
Yeah, because it sounds just fine, and I don't want to it sounds fine. Like
theoretically, it's good enough for the radio.
theoretically,
Wink, wink.
it's good enough
but
quality.
none of us would know, right, Walker?
Just
Okay.
like none of us rip music from iTunes. From
No.
YouTube.
From
to put
YouTube.
in iTunes.
Hey, I have an excuse to do that because I rip Dave Matthews performances off of YouTube.
Of course you don't.
That's pretty much the only place I can find them. Chester Copperpot 5
That's
on YouTube,
extremely
everybody. Shout out.
illegal.
Well, Chester
And
Copperpot.
now it will forever be on the internet.
Well, so here's the thing. So all those performances were recorded as part of like a free thing. That was like how Dave Matthews got popular in like that college area where Dave Matthews was popular, and it was like they released like free recordings of their albums and stuff, and it was like so it's like it's the idea. It's like that performance, but the stuff that's they release on CDs themselves, that's the stuff that's not cool to steal off the internet. Don't steal the albums. Don't steal the official releases.
It's kind of like the Dead. Like they would they would release their bootlegs.
Yeah.
They,
I
like,
mean,
supported their bootlegs.
All those
before any
bands
other
that
artists would.
do thing a week or song a week back from the way back in the 90s, where their voicemail is the newest recording of their song.
Dial a song.
Wait,
They
who
might
do
be
that?
giants.
That's
Was the
interesting.
pioneer.
They Might Be Giants did it. Jonathan Colton did it. He did it for 5 different albums.
And it'd be a full song.
It's every week you would call in, and it would be a full song as the voicemail, and that used to be the only way you could get the songs. And then once all the songs come out via voicemail, then they would release the album.
And I think
Ooh,
They Might Be
I like
Giants still
that.
does that because I downloaded their free show that they put out from Australia the other day, or not the other day, like last month or whatever. And I get emails from them sometimes, and it's like this song's on Dial a Song this week. And I'm like, holy shit, they're still doing that.
But now it's the
I
future,
still haven't
so
listened
it's
to it,
like email this address,
That's
and
how
we'll
we end it.
email you back a link that you can listen to the song.
I like how
Well,
we
I don't-
address it as the future, like we're aware.
It's not like they give you a link to the song. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the emails.
Like
to
the
be
future
honest.
was a place,
But-
and like we made it. It was like,
Here it
man, the
is.
future, it's pretty cool.
Because we're talking about Jay-Z offering high fidelity.
Yeah, we're talking about how you don't have to pay for music anymore. Like
Well, hey, the Walkman's back. The future's a
Walkman
little weird.
has returned.
Just like the BlackBerry returned for a year, and then
Oh.
disappeared.
Technically, I have a Walkman.
And then what was the other one? MySpace came back for like
Oh, we
2
talked about that.
months.
We talked about the commercials, the hip commercials advertising MySpace.
Oh yeah, we were talking about MySpace being the inferior version of Bandcamp, basically.
If your marketing technique or strategy has to include that your company is back, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
If your slogan should not be MySpace is back.
That's like Domino's.
The McRib's
Like-
back.
Didn't Radio
That's
Shack try
different.
that?
Is it?
The McRib is life.
Because
Logan.
the only reason it was gone was so that way they get more money from the McRib if it's a premium part-time out like limited time thing and then release it every year. They get more money from that than if it's just an item on the board.
Yeah. Can confirm I worked at McDonald's, and whenever the McRib was out, that was the only thing I cooked. Like, there's I don't know. It's different for different McDonald's, I assume, but there's like
No.
one grill with like two, like, because there's like these things that push down on it. So there's one grill with like 2 of them, and there's a third one with 3 small ones. Like 3 or 4 of those are all just filled up with McRibs all the time when the McRib is out, as opposed to each one having its own dedicated thing. Nobody cares
So
about
many
the
McRibs.
the thing. McDonald's was the worst experience of my entire life, and
This podcast is brought to you by
McDonald's.
not McDonald's
Not-
because
yeah,
we
absolutely.
hate it, I guess.
Walker's
At
hating
At the
it.
state of
hating it.
Indiana.
Walker's hating
and
it.
oh my
State of
god,
Indiana, yeah.
when they were making
What's
the
up
McRibs,
with the state of Indiana?
We're
I
not
don't
gonna
know
go
if we
back
can
into
listen to
that.
the fir- listen
Did
to the
you?
first
Okay,
part,
all
man.
right.
this is the recap.
It was on the ticker board in Eberly. So I'm like, well, it's got to be important if it made the like headlines in Eberly.
I'll
Well,
brag about it.
And it's all
Wilco
over
isn't
Reddit.
playing
Yeah.
in Indiana.
We talked about that at nauseam.
All I know is that the Church of Cannabis has been officially accepted in the state.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what that is. Can someone?
It was Billy Nelson and
elaborate.
Elaborate
So
Church.
essentially, it's because you can't be like part of this Religious Freedoms Act is you can be fired for various more personal offenses than relating to your work performance, but also at the same time you're getting some religious protections at work. Like if you state some religious affiliation for doing, for like having to do something in the workplace, you're allowed to. You can't be punished for that. So on the day that this was passed, they were also made an official religious organization through the office of the state of Indiana, the First Church of Cannabis or whatever they're called,
Oh my god.
which obviously relates around having and ingesting a lot of
Oh,
cannabis.
of course.
Their idea being this gets them around through the Religious Exemption Act that I can't get fired at work for being high as part of my religion.
You can get arrested though.
You can.
Mm.
Just can't be fired.
Indiana
wait.
is not
And
Colorado.
then you can get fired
Fun
for
fact.
having a
No,
criminal record.
technically, you can't get arrested for being high.
No, but for
But you'll be arrested
having
for
possessing
having- yeah.
or consuming.
Yeah.
So if you do it, just don't get caught having it. But nobody
But,
cares.
hey, how about we don't endorse
What's
drug
even the
use?
point of
yeah.
having the freedom?
Let's not
then?
do that.
Drugs
I'm just
are
saying,
for
if
pugs,
you're a member of
everybody.
the Church of Cannabis, that's
If
What
you're
can I
if
say?
you're a member of whatever church,
It's just
do what
like-
you want.
for all our
that
Indiana
one guy
listeners.
who got away with wearing a pasta strainer on his head for his driver's license photo because he said it was part of his religion.
the
God.
Pastafarian thing.
That's
I don't
awesome.
even think it was a pastafarian.
Oh,
It was just some guy wanted to
Pastafarian.
prove a point.
That's amazing.
I feel like someone was like, I bet $10 that you can't get your driver's license picture being you with a pasta strainer on your head.
that guy
And
got
he's
$10.
like, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Was he
man
was
was
he
so
as like
talented.
uninterested as you
He
sound?
just really needed the
I,
10.
I don't know.
We need the Church of the Fawns. back.
Ooh.
No, we don't.
Church of the Fawns.
That was a
Yeah.
Family Guy thing, right? That was an episode of Family Guy.
Oh man. Oh, it was. Yeah. What
Yay.
else? There's a lull.
I don't
Is there
know.
what else? What
Yeah,
other
there's a
pretty
lull.
much it.
things are there to talk about?
What's coming up? What's coming out?
Walker is.
What can we talk about?
Wow. Wow.
Don't go to
I mean,
Indiana.
Well, that's
you heard it here first, folks. All right.
Sorry, Walker.
New releases that we haven't talked about yet. I'm waiting for the Tame Impala album. That's gonna be cool.
AWOL Nation and Modest Mouse.
Alabama Shakes.
Pretty
They're
good
releasing
albums.
another album, and it's gonna apparently have a really stupid name.
Which one?
Modest Mouse.
Oh.
The singer said the next album's gonna come out.
Ringo
2016.
Starr had his album out today.
New Modest Mouse album is fantastic.
Is it called
Really?
Sync
It is
On?
pretty good.
Phenomenal.
Sync Off.
It's
Lampshades on Fire
It's
is
called
a good
Sync
track.
Off.
it's quite.
Just float on, sync off.
Oh.
It goes. quite a different direction, back to like older Modest Mouse, which
Although
I
I'm
really like, 'cause I liked older
happy
Modest.
he's not really paranoid about his speech impediment anymore. So there's a lot less heavy effects at the end of all of his sentences.
Yeah, but he stated that he wants to do a lot more Modest Mouse, like an album a year or something.
I'm not
Yes.
a Modest
That's a
Mouse
little-
fan. I did not know the singer had a speech impediment.
Dial a song.
Yeah, that's why
What,
like a lot
what
of
is
his
it?
a lot of his songs you don't hear background chorus unless it's where there's hard S's or like I don't really know how to describe it.
How does
but
he talk?
He
With an impediment.
it's like a lisp kind
Oh,
of thing.
okay.
Like,
A what?
Yeah, a lisp.
A lisp.
A lisp.
Oh well.
A lisp.
Oh, there's no pop filter on this. So
No,
they're
there is
probably
not.
going
I'm hearing
crazy
it.
on the lisp.
Like Michael Tyson.
Did you say Alabama Shakes?
Alabama Fakes.
Yes.
Give me
Alabama
all your
Shakes.
love.
That's
Give me
gonna
all
be
your
fun.
love. Future People.
I haven't heard that one.
You haven't heard that one? It's pretty all right. It's pretty good actually. It's pretty. You know what? It's good. It's, I have a full range of
One
emotions.
soon.
I think they did.
Is it out? There's
I
been
thought Death
last
Cab
time I
broke
checked,
up.
there were 4 singles.
I've been hearing a lot on Sirius XM.
Okay.
So
There's 4
it sounds
singles that have
pretty
been
serious.
released throughout the past month. So
Is that good? Has Death Cab been consistently good? I'm not a Death Cab fan either.
it's very
mean-
Death Cab.
Okay.
I don't know
Take
if
that
that
at face
answers
value.
your question.
I mean,
If you really like Death Cab, you'll really like it.
Okay.
If you're impartial to Death Cab,
You'll be
it's
impartial
it's
to
eh.
it.
And
I
if you
got
don't
it.
like Death Cab, then
I'm
just don't
impartial to
listen
it.
And then leave. Then leave.
New Toro Emo comes out next
My goodness.
week. What do you keep dropping?
Just dropping this flash
Oh.
drive.
Yay, professionalism. What was that?
New Toro Emo next week.
Cool.
It's a heavy
Should be really
flash
cool.
drive.
Very cool.
It looked plastic. It's like
Yeah, what
got
other
heft.
releases? Muse? Muse.
is that out yet, or is it still just that
I mean-
single that was? Okay?
I mean,
I
the
think they
single
released
means
another
it's
single.
coming.
Another song?
They might be
another single?
giants. I think
Uh,
there was
You
that
think?
lesbian song that they let out.
Lesbian song.
Yeah, that song came out.
Oh, well.
this episode brought to you by Coming
Lesbians.
Out.
Brought to you
Oh,
by
that
the
was
state
too-
of Indiana.
The
None of
Lesbian
us are
Coalition of
welcome.
the State of Indiana.
It was a
Psych.
lesbian bar. That's what the song was called. I remember now. Not that anyone here is a big enough fan.
I
of
thought you meant it
them.
was a song sung by lesbians.
No, the
Which
song
is
was
like, well,
the
I
song
don't think
was like
it's- they might be giants.
he was
then.
dancing in a lesbian bar, and it was I don't know. There was
Don't-
lesbians there. And there was
Naturally.
I'm not gonna
As
say
their
the comment
outfit
I was
are-
about to make.
what were you about to say?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Let's just move on.
Let's don't. I wouldn't pry.
Guys, we're just barely an actual IUP
Yeah.
station thing.
We were
I
dead
thought we were
before the ship even
IUPTV
sank.
now.
That's a Modest Mouse album title.
Thanks.
Woo! Bring it all
Nice,
back.
thanks.
Do we want to do our song recommendations to close it out? Since
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah, we
Song
made
of
enough
the
time.
week.
Song
Oh
of
wait,
the week.
wait.
Song of the week. Song of the week. Song of the week.
As in like WEAK, like the
Song-
weak people
Song
song.
for the week.
How
Okay.
what was that? Okay, so did you guys plan that out, or did you just hive mind?
I
that
just
without-
showed up 3 minutes ago. How would I have planned
I don't
that
know.
out?
I
They
don't
have a
know.
hive mind.
It just like felt
Because
right
I
to me
wasn't
when
part
you
of
said
that.
Song of the week.
Like it took me halfway through to
I mean, I
realize
just-
that this was a
it
thing that
the
was
Addams
happening.
Family,
Anyway.
so I figured I'd go with
Song
it.
of the week, everyone. What do we got?
Remember the rule we decided before.
Okay, sure.
Wait, what's the new
We'll maintain the rule. You'll get the rule.
You'll get the rule when we go around. Logan,
What's
you want
the
to go
date,
first?
Nick?
No, because I don't know the rule.
Steve, do you want to go first?
Well, it's not a song. It's more of an album. Kids Bop 28. It is totally mind blowing, guys. Check it out. It surpasses Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly" in every way, shape, and form.
It's not as good as Kids Bop 17, but it's still pretty
That
good.
is true. That is
Did you know
true.
now is into the 50s at this point? There's like a now like 56.
Yeah, but yeah.
Really now?
For me, Kids Bop 28 is my recommendation.
Do you want me to go now?
Why not?
So my song of the week is I don't remember the name of the song, but you'll find it on YouTube. It's Thomas the Dank Engine featuring Biggie Smalls. Solid effort on both of them. It was really good, really strong effort. It was,
Biggie
really
made the
liked
right
it.
choice.
The one that we watched, the first one that I put on.
Ooh, that can be yours. Do you want it?
I have another one, but no, I don't. That
Or
can
wait.
be- that can- you
You
Are
said
we
there
thinking
was
about
a
the same
rule,
thing right
but
now?
like I haven't
Yeah.
picked up on anything. Oh.
Whisper it louder if you could.
Why didn't you tell me this at the beginning so I had more time
We
to plan?
we talked about this before. We said that you were like yeah. You said
Well,
yeah.
I probably was like. in
I don't know what
spirit,
you
but I
guys are
just didn't
talking
think
about.
it.
Do you want me to pick your song of the week for you?
No.
Because I know we watched it, and I know you'll agree with me.
Don't do that.
Okay.
No, I have one. Do It Again by Steely Dan.
Ooh,
Sure.
yes.
It's gonna be half a thing now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, if you say what I think you're going to say, I'm going to be happy.
The new Ringo Starr album is the greatest thing that has ever been conceived in mankind.
Better than Coldplay, Nick?
That'll work, too.
Even better than Coldplay.
Whoa.
I will say it.
Oh my God.
What about Dave Matthews?
What-
Not quite.
Not
It's
quite
not
as
quite
good?
up to the standards of
Okay.
Dave Matthews.
Is this
But then again, almost nothing but
How's the
chalkboards are.
is this new album just Ringo Starr, or is it like
I don't know.
the Ringo
Apparently
Starr
it's supposed to come out in
experience?
like 3 weeks, but he was all like, I'll just release it today. I don't know the name. I don't know the name
Who?
of it. I don't know how many tracks are on it. I don't know any songs from it.
But you just know it's amazing.
I know it's out, so I'm going to
It's
recommend
amazing.
it.
you know it's in the world?
Like, what's your official opinion on the album? I mean, it's out.
I don't feel comfortable discussing my happiness towards this album.
It's out.
I've
It was
never heard
released.
anyone take a stance like that. I don't feel comfortable discussing my happiness.
I can only go so far, guys. That's
Logan.
all-
Fair enough. Fair enough,
Ringo
Nick.
Starr's new album called
I
Postcards
can
from
only
Paradise.
go so low.
What?
Postcards from Paradise.
Oh my god.
It's
I already-
it's just Ringo by himself.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
It's
Look
not
at
even
that-
the
look at that
All-Star
album
Band?
cover.
No. It's his 18th solo effort.
I like
say
how they call it effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
effort.
But you love it, Nick.
Yeah,
Every
sure.
effort's
It was
a
a-
beautiful effort.
It was an effort. It was an effort.
Yes.
He has
He
so many
gets an
gold
A for
stars
effort.
on his fridge.
It was really an effort.
Rolling Stone started this review with, "It's been more than 50 years since Ringo Starr declared himself a fan of Beethoven." That's how they
What?
started this review.
Let's leave that one on a cliffhanger.
With
I want to read
that
that
statement.
alone.
They clarify even, especially his poems.
So, on an off
Thanks,
topic,
Ringo.
when are we doing the rant episode? I need to study
rant
up on
episode?
certain
Whenever you need to.
things.
Whatever
Yeah,
you want to.
That's all up to you, Nick. You're the
All
rant
right.
lord.
We can do
Well,
it this weekend if you want.
Rants against two.
We'll see.
Rants against
Just,
everything.
You know, whoever.
Rants Against the Machine.
Since apparently people really want to hear me
That could
flip
be what we
out
call
on a
them.
microphone.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
that's going to be a thing.
Our scores of fans.
It's going to be
Yeah.
quite explicit. I might need a censor
Logan,
bar.
I think you've had enough time. Or do you need more time?
I can
to
answer
think
for
about
you
it?
if
I
you
haven't
need
even
to.
been
I'll answer for him.
lightly considering.
Hello, everyone. I'm Logan Barrier, and my song of the week is "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared For."
Oh, no.
It's that, yes.
Digital fashion.
Digital style.
Style.
Digital
That was it.
dancing. Hey, this is fun.
I'm a computer.
I actually want to watch that, so don't disclose too much.
It's
It's an interesting. It's not
what's
quite as
the
good as
biggest thing
3,
in the world?
Okay.
but it's
Dude,
pretty
3
good.
was
Yeah.
3 was my jam. 3 was my jam.
They broke the fourth wall yet again.
Good lord.
It's you weren't invited to this party.
Those
The
guys.
whole
Okay.
spoiler alert, Steve. It's
That's-
good.
No, okay, all right. That's a fair spoiler. So are we?
Thanks for
gonna-
your suggestion, Logan.
Yep.
You're the greatest.
That's
All
why
right,
I'm here.
Anyway.
Don't
Here's
hug
what?
me, I'm scared.
What?
He's your what?
I said I was gonna say he was the greatest, or like I was gonna. I don't know what I was gonna say actually. Anyway,
Mike, do you want to say bye?
do we want to close it out?
Bye.
I think that's like the only.
The
like,
title's
super-
WIU Podcast.
God damn
Logan, you
it.
didn't see him, but Walker like spat up.
Oh, it's on my jacket.
Yeah.
Ugh.